This is TJ for GoFigureNews.com, and I couldn't be happier to have something arrive at our studio. Many of you out there are fans of science fiction, of horror, and the combination thereof. And no other film in history sort of is more of a quintessential combination than Alien and Aliens and Alien versus Predator and the spin-off Prometheus. Now, you may or may not be familiar with these films, and in fact, I have only seen clips of some of these films. I have a lot of catching up to do. I know, I realize, my bad. That said, NECA, the National Entertainment Collectibles Association, has brought to you for the last few years this series ongoing for this particular grouping, including these most recent from, I believe, Series 7, which are the more astronaut-styled figures. But I wanted you to get a flavor for the difference in scale. So let's put our astronauts aside to reveal the one and only Mother. That's right. Blow the roof off the Mother with the Red Queen Mother. She is right here, and she looks like something of the next millennium. They just released the loader, which you can place Ripley and other figures right into, and that's an incredible piece. You should take a look at that online and at your local comic shops, and I think that you might be able to find that at Toys R Us. So we're going to just open this right up, and I couldn't be more excited because from the looks of it, there's something going on. A lot of people who do reviews don't actually take a closer look at the box, and there's always exciting artwork. NECA, like no other, puts together this great photography of figures one-on-one and this sort of style, and this shows you the scale of the large figures as opposed to the smaller figures. Now I guess there must be another one of the regular black Alien, which I have not seen. So one of the things that people overlook oftentimes is the packaging that's inside the box, and I just want to pull this out so that you can take a look. And in this case, it's like kind of a rocky desert background. This is probably the hive world where the Queen Mother would dominate. On the back it says, "Even the terrifying queens bow before the Queen Mother, whose immense telepathic power allows her to reign over the entire xenomorph species from her nest on the hive world." There So one of the things that I obviously want to point out is the craftsmanship and the artistry that goes into the background of making these products. Some of them are large scale releases, and others are more limited, and I believe that this is one of those figures that you will see a lot less of out there. So if you are interested in getting one of these for your collection, you might want to think about sooner rather than later, because some of these figures disappear really quickly. And this one is kind of on the scale of like a statue, or like a really, almost like a fine art piece. Okay, so I'm going to get the Queen out of the packaging. So I'll show you more details on the innards in a minute. But to start, let's take a look at her. OMG. Wow. This is incredible. Can you see that? Holy moly, batlings. Okay, now this is going to take a minute to like figure out what's what here, because any alien figure has so many parts, like a big, huge insect. Now this has 4 arms, 2 large arms with articulation in the hands and in the elbows, and then in the body, which of course is very insect-like. The tail is incredible because, as you can see, it is huge. I don't know exactly the extension here, but I am guessing this is over 2 feet in length. And the legs move so that she can stand upright. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. There is a stand that comes with it, but I bet you could just manipulate it such that you could get it into a stance. And let's see, does the head move? Let's see here. Yes, the head does move at sort of the neck, I guess you could call it. The upper kind of crown fly sort of aspect here is beautiful. Look at that. It's like a kind of a one of those bottom dweller fish meets kind of manta ray meets fly. It's really beautifully painted. It's got really fine lines in the sculpt and great attention to detail, especially in the facial area. So, as you can see, the mouth opens and closes, and it's got, the way it's designed is really well done, because oftentimes you'll see these aliens that will, the mouth, when it opens, the side doesn't look realistic, but here they've built this sort of part that goes with the design, so it really makes it look like it's almost part of almost like fleshy. And then the top part of the head moves as well into this section here. So there's multiple points of articulation. These inner hands move up and down. The hands move all the way around 360. And, so she can clutch these hands together as if she's going to be up to an evil deed. So anyway, parts of her aren't even fitting into the screen because she's so large. Okay, we're going to put her down in sort of skulking mode. And as you can see, the feet also articulate at the toes, and that is good for posing. And the foot also moves side to side. The feet almost have a high heel sort of effect to them, which is, I'm not exactly sure if that identifies the figure as female, just sort of from a pop culture perspective, but it's interesting. The toenails, which you probably can't see in this image, are painted this sort of silvery color, and each one is perfectly painted and kind of ferocious and kind of pointy. So the other thing is, for little kids, this might be something that this might be going on a top shelf for show. And if you look at it from different perspectives, you get a completely different sculpture. I sort of really like it standing up because there's something a little bit more defying and demanding here. Okay, so we're going to put her just down in a, can we get her in a squatty position? Let's see here. The tail, let's see, the tail also moves from side to side and is more of a kind of a rubbery sort of finish, rather than the body being a little bit harder of a sculpt. Now inside you get a stand which is a few different parts. It's got an A shape here. It is done in a clear format, which is really, really nice because this is the kind of figure that you don't want the stand to actually stand out. You'd rather make the figure really kind of defy space a little bit. There are two metal rods that come along with it. You can see that here in the top of the holder, and also a ring that would go probably right around either the neck or a part of the leg. This here is Aliens Genocide, and she comes with two additional interchangeable mouths. So let's see if I can get this in there. One is taller and one is shorter. And these are cool. They're really nicely done. They look almost like steel. And then on the ends, it appears as if it's like a long tongue claw. On the end here is a square peg insert where you find the spot inside the mouth. You can feel inside with your finger, and you can feel exactly where the spot is. It might be a little bit tricky to get this in there, so don't force it because you don't want to break the jaw of the figure. But basically these do go in there, and they can be placed in the slot below as well, which will still give you a similar effect as if it's a creature within the creature. Okay, so here is the A-shape frame, which acts as a base, and you can put the Queen Mother upon the base, and you can probably figure out different ways to do that. You can put it right here at sort of where the tail meets the back of the butt, and that's going to hold her in place immediately. That is, whoops, but you're going to want to futz around with it a little bit. That's my technical term, futzing. But just have fun with it, because there are 35 points of articulation on this figure. So this has been TJ for GoFigureNews.com. I have been taking a look at NECA's Red Queen Mother from Aliens Genocide. And let me tell you, this is a figure for the ages. This is probably what I would consider the figure of the season. So watch for it super closely, because this one is going to disappear right after the new year. So keep your eyes out there in your local shop. This has been Go Figure News. Thanks for watching.